I'm answering this one because somebody wrote in something that 90% of stand-up comedy has this as its line, and that's why I'm answering it. You can relate. That only took 20 seconds to get to it. I probably should have thought about that if I wanted to make that at the beginning. But as you know, what's the motto here at Jordan Shakes? Soldier on! Just made that up then as well. Well, like I always say, again, let's go for the third time, shut the fuck up. And that is something that I actually do say at Friendly Jordies a lot. I mean, dude, that should be the legitimate catchphrase of Jordan Shanks. Shut up! But keep talking at the same time. I need material. This guy was writing that he says that he has a problem, a big boo-boo in life, that he wants to feel good about what he's doing, except for he always feels like that what he's doing is the wrong thing that he's doing, should be doing. He should be doing something else. And yet he's doing this. Can you see where he's going to feel bad? The answer is every second of his life. And I can relate to it. Beep, 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 beep. That's the DVD. Callback, as they say in comedy. And I want to share with you something that I shared way back in the Never Never time, back when there was a camera that was slightly better than the one that I'm using right now out of sheer laziness, and it's good to see that the numbers keep going up regardless, proving my whole point of anybody who thinks that you need a DSLR to start a YouTube channel is sorely mistaken. What you need is a white background. That's what you actually need. And he was... look, let's put it this way. There's two ways of looking at life. And it is summed up by Wayne Dyer's The Psychology of Striving versus the Psychology of Arriving. Most people go through life thinking, if I do this, then I'll get that. And that's the only reason why they're doing this, the thing that they're doing now, because they are thinking in the future, I'll be able to do that. So they're not actually interested in this. This, the thing that they are doing, is a chore. And then when they get to that, they see something else over the line, that grass is always greener mentality of, oh, what's over there? It's like when you throw a stick to a dog, and then you pick up another stick, and then they drop that stick in their mouth. Give me that. That's how most people go through life. It's really interesting looking at dogs, because you realise that is me if I couldn't speak at all and my head was bashed in with a pipe 50 times. I think that you should always be remembering that line, because anything that you are ever doing in life, in fact, I was just feeling it just at the beginning of this. I mean, truth be told, if we're being real here, if we can rap together as brothers, doesn't matter what race or gender or creed, we're all one. Did you know that? Is that not the most trite 90s way to start a Nickelodeon ad you've ever heard? But if we may just live in that wonderful utopian world, I was feeling it at the beginning of this. I was thinking, Jesus, I've got to go through this again. But now that I'm in the process, I'm even just talking about it and reminding myself of it, I'm starting to feel a lot better about it. And this is the very scary thing about life. What you feel is your entire life. That's it. Not very sexy, is it? Well, maybe if you're feeling sexy, it might feel sexy. I don't know, because I don't feel sexy anymore. All I ever do is just live in this room going slowly mad. But I would imagine that that's how you feel. Look, in lieu of that, I think that when people are always saying, I never feel like what I am doing is the thing that I should be doing now, know that what you are doing in that moment is whatever the band that made up that, life is what happens when you're busy making plans, I think it was. And then I think Good Charlotte or some shit tried to steal it. I think it was the Beatles. one of those bands that all the kids listen to. Did you know that rock and roll is the devil's music? Maybe I should do an entire self-help video about that. Why rock and roll will elicit demons in you. Yeah. I think that if you are constantly looking for the next thing that happens, what is the scary thing about that is it starts training you to never feel satisfied. And that is great. That is really great. That mindset that you have, it shows that you are moving towards something in life, and that means that you will get there, but when you get there, you will be wanting to move to something else. And this is where East meets West in philosophy, because what you ideally want is what Tony Robbins is always advertising, which is, I used to achieve in order to be happy, but now I happily achieve. You can be doing both. You can be enjoying whatever you are doing at that moment. It is one of the main reasons that I refuse to get a smartphone, because if I'm sitting on a bus or if I'm just forced to wait for my fucking girlfriend because she always takes 20 fucking minutes to leave the door, guys, you can relate. Yes, third reference, and the third one actually made sense. We got there. You see where we're going with this? In those moments, you train yourself to enjoy them, because if you can enjoy them, your brain starts to think, oh, the things that I'm doing that are fun are actually fun. You can train yourself to think that whatever you are doing is enjoyable. And so even if you aren't doing the most optimal thing, and let's be honest, who is? There is something that I could be doing right now that could be bolstering my career 10 times more than what I am currently doing. I am sure of it. But this is what I'm doing right now, so I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to pat myself on the back for doing something that is going to be pushing me towards my end goal anyway. And I will be celebrating the fact that while I'm doing it, no one else in Australia is. And no one certainly is going to be putting in the 10 years that I did. You should be patting yourself on the back for that. Whatever it is you do. That isn't obnoxiously telling other people advice and demanding money for it. Jordan Shanks, it's coming in midway this time. Sign up to the Patreon where you'll be getting all kinds of great information. This week is especially good, actually. I've got 2 incredible epiphanies that are the deepest of the deep when it comes to self-help. Honestly, you do the 2 things that I was telling you about in that self-help, man, that is something that is going to pull you ahead in life against all the suckers that aren't members of Jordan Shanks. Sign up for 2 videos extra a week. The creme de la creme. And then if you're the one down from that, it's still cream, but it's not de la creme. It's not French is what I'm saying. Now, sign up to it. Link below. Like and subscribe as well. That's what's happening there. That yes, you're right, there is something that you could always be doing that is better. Know that if you were having that thought, you're ahead of the vast majority of the population anyway, and all you are doing is punishing yourself. All you are doing is suffering. Most of suffering is, I am not enjoying this moment. It's just, there's something better happening. And I swear to God, I was thinking that at the beginning of filming these videos. I want to have a bath. I always want to have a bath. And then, it's really odd. As soon as I'm in the bath, don't want to be in the bath anymore. Because I'm always moving ahead in life. And it is somebody who is going to be very successful if they have that. But what is the point of success if you can't enjoy it? What's the point? It's actually something that happened recently. I experienced a bit of an ego death, and I'm not going to go into the reasons because I went into the reasons at Jordan Shanks. And I've got a great story about what ego death entails. And by ego death, it was like a really pussy me version of it. It wasn't the, oh my God, I'm seeing that Terry head in whatever Michael Cusack's most recent animation was. I didn't see Terry's head. I saw Jerry Seinfeld's head. And that's actually not too far away from the truth. But the point is that it was in there. You realize that if you are just in this mode constantly of thinking, I'm not doing the most productive thing, life just starts moving extremely quickly. And then you look back at it and you realize that all you were looking for was optimization. And yes, you will be very good at it like I was, but also know that I am at this point a factory and have been for the last 7 years. And it has resulted in great success, if I do say so myself. But it also meant that a lot of that time I was sitting there thinking, fuck this, in my 20s. And it's what's particularly odd about that is when I was a kid, I was dreaming about being in the position that I am now. And you blow past a lot of it, not enjoying it. Again, another reason why I do these videos, to constantly remind myself, no, you should be very grateful of where you are now. So the antidote to it, as always, is to write down the things that you're grateful for. But I think that this question helps a lot to get you out of the psychology of striving and into the psychology of arriving. Obviously, just looking around, thinking about what you're grateful for. But Eckhart Tolle summed it up so well. What is my relationship to the present moment? Your brain will be forced to answer that question. What is my relationship to the present moment? I want you to write that down, your only piece of homework for today. What is my present relationship to the present moment? If you are able to answer that, and you will answer it, when you answer that, you will center yourself because you will realize, I'm feeling fairly anxious at the moment. That'll stop that. And then once you stop that, you have moved out of the psychology of striving and into the psychology of arriving. The entire point of the psychology of striving is resistance. Resistance against the moment. This, I want to get out of here so I can be good somewhere else. It's a fantasy. It is the oasis. It is, when you're driving along in the desert and you see along the road the heat reflecting on it, and it kind of looks like there's a pool of water out off in the distance, and then you keep driving, and then, oh no, it goes away, and then the water is over there. That's how a lot of people live their life, including me. I'm definitely not a sinner when it comes to this. But you have to escape it somehow. And it is very, very, very easy to escape it. And it is just asking yourself, what is my present... What is my relationship to the present moment? And the other thing that you should be constantly reminding yourself of is the psychology of striving versus the psychology of arriving, because just that phrase snaps you out of it, snaps you out of looking for the mirage, doing what you can in there. The other thing that I think that you should also be constantly reminiscent of is you can enjoy any moment. Any moment is enjoyable. This moment's great. I've got this. That's why I hold these around a lot all the time. Like, I'm endlessly fascinated with fidgeting. It just... that's not artistic at all, is it? That's why I like fidget spinners. I hated fidget spinners, though. Because it wasn't me that was doing the fidgeting. Anyway, make sure that you like, make sure you subscribe, sign up to Jordan Shanks. Remember, psychology of striving versus psychology of arriving. I'll see you next time.